confirmed, of course, by the Russian Defense Ministry and the Foreign Ministry and the Kremlin as well, that it was indeed a Russian warplane that was downed by the Turks, because the Turks themselves, as I understand it, have said that they brought that aircraft down after a violation of its airspace. What the Russians are saying at this very early stage is that that's not the case. They're saying that the plane did not violate Turkish airspace, that it stayed within Syria. They're saying it was shot down from the ground. But there's not much detail beyond that, except to say that the two pilots that were on board appear to have parachuted to the ground. Again, the condition of those two pilots is, as far as we're concerned here in Moscow, not quite known. We're expecting there to be a statement. In fact, the Kremlin has told me that there will be a statement later on today by the Russian president. He's going to be meeting the Jordanian officials later on today, and so at that opportunity, he will be making a statement, according to the Kremlin, about this incident. It's clearly, a huge escalation. This is the first time that I can remember, and I think I'm probably not alone in this, that a NATO country has shot a Russian plane out of the sky. Turkey is, of course, a NATO country. And so it represents a major escalation, not just in the regional conflict inside Syria, but potentially could worsen relations, which are already strained, of course, between Russia and the NATO military alliance. And so it's an extremely serious development that could have far-reaching consequences.
And this is President Hollande is heading to Washington to try to convince President Obama to work more closely with the Russians over Syria. And there was some hope that he might have been able to get some sort of agreement, at least on practical coordination between the two countries. But this is going to throw that completely off course.
It potentially will be a complication, yes. I mean, the Russians are going to be furious about this, obviously. And, of course, much will depend now on what happens to the pilots. The French President, François Hollande, you're right, he's going to Washington. He's also coming to Moscow on Thursday, in a couple of days from now. He's going to be meeting with Vladimir Putin. There's been something of a French-Russian alliance emerge since the attacks in Paris. Russia and France seemingly very close in their positions in terms of wanting to destroy ISIS inside Syria as quickly as possible. There's always been a division, of course, between Russia and the West over what to do in Syria, particularly over the fate of Bashar al-Assad, the Syrian president. And, of course, Russia and the Turks are on different sides, essentially, in that conflict. The Russians are very much backing the Syrian, what they would call the legitimate government of Syria, of Bashar al-Assad. And the Turks are, supporting rebel groups who are opposed to Bashar al-Assad. And so they've been at odds.
Düşüyor. Düşüyor değil mi?